Have you ever heard of the Voronezh Park landing in Russia in 1989? On the evening of September the 27th, 1989, something impossible happened in a quiet park in the Russian city of Voronezh. Dozens of children and several adults watched a glowing object descend from the sky, and then they saw something even stranger step out. This wasn't a blurry light, this wasn't a one-person encounter, this was a landing in a public park witnessed by an entire group of people during daylight. The object hovered, dipped and touched down near a cluster of trees, while children played football just a few metres away. According to multiple witnesses, the craft opened and three beings emerged, each one around 9 feet tall, small heads, elongated limbs and large glowing eyes, described as three-eyed by the children. Their movements were slow, heavy, almost mechanical, and behind them a robotic companion stepped out, metallic and box-shaped, following them like a guard. For a moment everyone froze, the children, the adults, even the creatures themselves, staring at one another in complete silence. One of the beings pointed a strange tube-like device at the ground, and a flash of red light burst out. Witnesses say the device fired a beam that hit the earth with a crack, but then something even more unsettling happened. A young boy standing nearby vanished. Not ran, not fainted, he disappeared, gone in front of everyone's eyes, only to reappear moments later in a different spot, confused and crying. Teachers, parents and local police rushed to the area. The craft lifted silently and vanished into the sky. The children gave nearly identical statements. Adults confirmed the lights, the crafts, the landing. And then, the thing that makes this case different. The Soviet news agency, TASS, publicly reported on it. They confirmed strange impressions in the ground, elevated radiation, and said the witnesses described something they could not explain. This was one of the only times the Soviet government ever acknowledged a UFO landing. We're going to take a look at that.
In September of 1989, something happened in the city of Voronezh, 200 miles south of Moscow, which caught the attention of the world press. For several weeks, strange lights were seen over the city. Then on September the 27th, it was reported that a spacecraft landed in one of the city's public parks, from which three alien giant figures emerged. Drawings of the landings by children who were there capture the event vividly. Sergei Makarov was one of the school children who was in the Voronezh park.
I remember a crowd that gathered around the place. Everybody was scared. Everybody turned pale. I was absolutely flabbergasted.
Denis Bozhenko was also one of the boys in the park on that day in September 1989.
I saw some traces there, and also a strange man. Outwardly, he looked like any other man, only he was huge. A moment later, he suddenly disappeared.
I had no doubt that the UFO and the giants existed, because I saw them. But sometimes when I look back, it seems sort of like a fairy tale.
The creatures started coming out. They did not look too much like humans. They were much taller than humans. They did have shoulders, but I didn't see the head.
We walked. We look and see this ball, such a brilliant iridescent flew. We ran to that gate, reached and stopped. It hung there.
Where is the object headed?
Here it flew, then hung at the level of a poplar tree.
What is movement?
This one, nearby.
Right at the level of the top of the poplar tree hung?
No,
Where?
in the middle part of it.
Show it not as you are told, but as you saw it yourself.
Here, well, somewhere over there. Could you see? See this lamp on the pole, approximately at this level.
And so clear, and where? Near the poplar.
Yes, and right here, where Yura Sergachev, right there, stood, sat down there, landed, and the light changed, stood for 10 minutes, or maybe 5 minutes. Something we were afraid, and his rose a little, and meter and a half and disappeared. Still, I look like the outline of a person. Its appearance, you know, like a pencil drawing, is just a sapling. Only his head was big.
What were your ears like?
Уши
It was
какие
like
были?
your
Заметил,
ears.
уши были у
Did
него?
you
Нет
notice
ушей.
it?
There were no ears at all, and no hair, bald just.
Лысый.
And
Глаза,
what
глаза,
about
глаза
eyes?
были, нос.
Maybe it were nose?
The eyes were there, and there is the nose. You know, that's how it diverges.
Why?
He was about that height. We didn't see his face. Black himself was. His silence.
So that's the 1989 Voronezh case. Adults, children, you know, well documented. But you'd be surprised how many people don't actually know about it. It's insane. So, as always, if you've enjoyed it and you'd like to see more stuff like that, please drop a comment. If there's stories you want me to cover, please drop a comment, and I read every comment. I reply to every single comment. Every single comment. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm there. I will reach back to you. Don't worry about that. And as always, keep your eyes to the sky, as the next story could be yours. Good night. God bless. See you on the next one.